Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to session number 4 of our band and body weight series. We're going to jump right into it today, so we're going to start off with our warm-up. First thing, we're going to stretch that whole posterior chain, backside, doing our inchworm walkout to push-ups. So we're going to come down to a hang, let your body fall down, let your head relax down, and then you're just going to walk your hands forward with straight knees to a push-up position. Do one single push-up. With your hands, you're going to walk back. And that is 1. And again, we're doing 10 reps. 2. Again. 3. Walk it back. Hang. Walk it forward. 4. Walk it back. Walk it forward. 5. Walk it back. And forward. 6. Back. And forward. 7. Back. Forward. Keep that back nice and straight as you go through your push-up. 9. And 1 more. 10. Now we're going to stay right there as we sit back into our downward facing dog. So you want your feet shoulder width to hip width apart. You're going to push your tailbone up into the sky. You're going to drop your head down towards your feet. You really try and keep your heels as close to the ground as you can. This is your downward dog. And we're going to shift forward, lowering ourselves down. Point the toes, push yourself up into your upward facing dog. Pull those shoulders down away from those ears. Lower yourself down. Curl the toes back. Back to your down dog. So we're going to flow in and out of both of those movements. And back to up dog. 2. Down dog. Up dog. 3. Down dog. Up dog. 4. Down dog. Up dog. 5. Down dog. Up dog. Down dog. Up dog. Down dog. Make sure that you're pushing that tailbone up into the air. You're getting a good calf stretch by trying to keep those heels on the floor. Drop your head toward your toes. And up dog. 8. Down dog. Up dog. 9. Down dog. And up dog. 10. We're going to go immediately into our scorpions, so you're going to want to stay flat on the ground. Make sure you've got enough space on both your right and left side. Bring your hands into a T position. We're gonna kick the leg up towards the sky, curl it like a scorpion tail, and bring it across like you're trying to touch the hand on the opposite side. And when you go right and left, then that'll be 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. Okay. Let's flip onto your back for back crackers. So now, you're gonna have your hands in a T again. One leg is gonna come straight up, as high as you can get it. Now if you have to bend your knee to do this, that's okay. Okay? So get it up, you're gonna take your other hand up over to the outside and twist to the side. Should be a good spinal twist, lumbar stretch. Try your best to keep that opposite shoulder flat on the ground if you can manage that. And then back up and switch. And switch. And 2. And 3. 4. 5. It's also helpful to look in the opposite direction as the leg that you're twisting. 6. 7. 8. 9. Almost there. And 10. Excellent. So now we're up. We're on our feet. Or in a kneeling position, I should say. You're going to take a knee. We're going to tuck the pelvis underneath our bodies. From there, you're going to lunge forward, stretching the hip flexor on that trail leg. So that pelvic tilt is really important. Otherwise, you're just going to feel it in your lower back. As you lunge forward, we want to make sure that we've got good knee alignment. That front knee should be tracking over the second and third toe. And then from there, we're just going to step up and step back and switch sides. Starting with that pelvic tilt, get that hip flexor stretch, then we lunge forward. Step up and switch. So that's one each side. You gotta hit 10 and switch. Maintain that good balance. 2, 3. I like using my hands to help reinforce that tuck. 4. Those hip flexors are a big problem area for a lot of people with lower back pain. 5. So we really want to be intentional with this stretch. 6. 7. Give you guys a side view here a little bit more. 8. 9. 10. Fantastic. You grab our band, we're going to choke up on it, and we're going to go around the worlds. So we're going to stretch that band out. We're going to keep those elbows nice and straight, locked. Set our posture, shoulders down and back. We're going to go left hand down into the hip pocket while the right hand pivots over the top. All the way till that band is at your butt. Then we're going to come back around with the other arm. And then once we've made a full revolution, we change directions. Changing directions every time you come back to the front. That's 2. You might need to start slow with this one, and that's okay. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Keep those elbows straight. 8. 9, just one more. And around 10. Great job. So now it's time to get into our working sets. So now as you can see, I've got all my bands set up here. You're going to need a wide variety of different bands. So I'm just going to get right into the demonstrations for these. We're starting off with alternating leg lunges. We don't need any bands for this one. So you're just going to step forward, kiss your trail knee to the ground if you can. Just go as low as you can, but maintain good posture. We also want to make sure that that front knee, the hip, the knee, and the toe stays all in alignment. Step up and switch sides, alternating legs. So all of these exercises today are going to be 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest, or really transition time, because you might need time to get into your next exercise. Okay? So first, alternating leg lunges. Number 2, we've got planks. So we're going to be on your elbows and toes. So we're going to make sure we keep the shoulder blades pulled back, the core is pulled in nice and tight, and the glutes are active. So we have a nice straight spine, stiff as a board. So we'll hold that plank for 45 seconds. Then we've got banded good mornings. So you're gonna want a thicker band for this one. We're gonna take that band and we're gonna bring it up over our traps. We're gonna step into the band with both feet, keeping a nice straight spine, and up into a standing tall position. Push the rear end back, keeping the knees mostly straight until you get a good stretch through the hamstrings. We want to avoid rounding of the lower back. This is a big problem with this exercise, so we've got to push the butt up in the air, keep that back nice and straight, squeeze that butt at the top of the movement. Now, as you can see, as I awkwardly turn around, right, I'm hinging down and I'm keeping my feet, my knees, and my hips about hip width apart. And then I'm holding the band so that it doesn't interfere with my body. So that way I can pull with my arms outward as I maintain tension on that band and perform the movement. So that's our next exercise. Now, we're getting into flutter kicks. So we're going to lay down on the ground. We're going to place our hands under our butts. We're going to give ourselves a crunch position, head and shoulders off the ground. Now, if you have neck issues, you can put the head on the ground. However, you have to understand you're not going to be crunching on the abs quite as much. So understand that there is some strengthening that needs to happen with the neck. So if you're in that position, be able to discern, is this good for my neck? Is it strengthening it? Or is this too much? So hands are going to go underneath your rear end. Crunch up. Legs are going to go straight, and we're just going to flutter up and down. At the highest point, we're only going roughly 45 degrees, right? We're not coming all the way up, right? So we want to keep constant tension on those abs. Make sure we're pulling in right here as we go. From there, we get into banded push-ups. So we're going to take a mid-sized band. If you are ready for banded push-ups, you could just do regular push-ups or even modified push-ups depending on what level you're at. So you're going to take your band, you're going to bring it behind your back, and it's going to rest on your mid-back where the band sits kind of right in between your tricep and your shoulder. From there, you're going to take a knee, you're going to place your hands on the ground, you're going to get into your push-up position and push up. 45 seconds of work. Even if you have to drop to your knees or get rid of the band altogether, I don't care, but we just want to keep moving the whole time. Next, we get into Russian twists. Now, Russian twists, just like the Russian twist we did in our last segment, you're going to lean back, you're going to keep the posture up nice and tall. Ideally, you want to have the feet off the ground, rotate, and touch the ground. Just like so, every time. Rotating through the core, not through the shoulders. This is a really common thing. You're not getting the spinal twist and all those internal and external obliques when you only move the shoulders. So we want to get that rotation through the core. Banded lat pullover. So if you have handles to your bands, this really helps, but you don't need them. So our banded lat pullovers, we need an anchor. Now a lot of your bands might have come with a door anchor. If you don't have one of those, then you want to find something like this to where you can just wrap your band around. Maybe it's a pipe, maybe you've got a squat rack at home. From there, you're going to lay down on your back and ensure you got enough tension on your band. So like right here, you guys can see I've got a lot of slack in my band. So in order for me to get some tension, I've really got to scooch away. And then from there, now I've got tension, I'm going to keep my posture up, and I'm going to pull all the way down to the floor. Straight elbows, mostly the entire way. There's going to be a micro bend in those elbows. Something that we want to avoid here is the chest caving in or hollowing out. So you always want to keep that chest up, nice and tall. That's our banded lat pullover. Then we've got banded rotations. So you're going to take the same size band here. I've got the same size band. And you're going to wrap it kind of mid-height around an anchor point. Anchor it to your door, wherever you need to anchor it. I like to loop the band within itself. And now I have a handle here on this one, similar to the last exercise. You don't need a band, but this is another great core rotation exercise. All right, so we're gonna step away. We're gonna grab the handle. We're gonna rotate, and then we're gonna pivot our feet, and then we're gonna rotate for the other side. Pivot the feet, rotate, pivot the feet, rotate, rotate, rotate. So that should give you a good core rotation. We want to avoid bending just the arms or allowing the elbows to bend. The straighter your arms are, the more tension you're going to have through the midsection. Then we get into our wall sit front raise. This one is a great leg and shoulder burner. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your wall. You're going to lean up against it, and you're going to squat down to about 90 degrees here at the knees. From there, you're going to take your really light band, put it around your feet, and front raises as you do your wall sit. Great thing about that exercise is you're able to hit your legs, your quads, and your shoulders at the same time. And then our last exercise is going to be our regular old sit-up. So we're going to lay down on the ground and have our hands either at the shoulders, behind the head, or you can even use those arms to help swing you up. Pick a progression that's right for you, all right? So when you come all the way down, you're going to curl up, peeling one vertebrae off the ground at a time, posting up onto your rear end, and all the way up to where your elbows could touch your knees. And back down, and up, and down. Now, if you can't sit all the way up, it's okay if you just do crunches, where you come up to get tension on the core. So again, find the progression that's right for you. Okay, we're gonna set our timer, and we're gonna get going. We're gonna start off with alternating leg lunges. Ready, begin. 45 seconds of work. Make sure you keep that posture up nice and tall. This is a great running drill, actually. Helps to mimic a lot of the movements that you do in running, which is why you'll see me mimic the arm swing that you would do when you run. Because it actually helps us to advance other movements later down the line. 10 more seconds. And time. All right, planks is next. Let's go ahead and get ready and get in position. Up. You'll notice that by the end, it's not going to feel like a lot of time. So we pull those shoulder blades back, we pull that core in, we squeeze that butt. Keep that body nice and straight, stiff as a board. Keep that core pulled in. If you're doing it correctly, it should be very difficult to breathe. We shouldn't see any arching into the lower back or rounding through the upper back. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. Perfect. Moving into banded good mornings. You might start light and then move heavy. Ready? Begin. Up. Get that good hamstring stretch every single time. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Breathe. Breathe in, down. Breathe out on the way up. Try and coordinate your breathing with your movements. 10 more seconds. And time. All right. We are moving to flutter kicks. Starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. So we're fluttering up and down, keeping those knees nice and straight, pulling that core in nice and strong. Only going up to about 45 degrees. We want to ensure that our heels don't hit the ground with every rep. Fifteen more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Banded push-ups is next. Getting ready in 5 seconds. And begin. We always want to make sure every rep is a good rep. All the way down, chest touches the floor, and back up. Let's also make sure that we're not reaching with our head towards the ground. The chest should be the first thing to touch. 15 more seconds. 5 seconds. And time. A banded lat pullover. Let's get on our backs. Reach back and grab our band. Scooch away and begin. All the way down to the floor. Keeping that good posture. When you come up overhead, you want to maintain tension throughout the band the entire time. "15 seconds. If you see me lose form, it's because I'm checking the time. Five more seconds. And time. Okay. Looking good so far, guys. Here we go. Begin. Get that good twist through the core. Breathe through the movement. If you have to put your heels down because you're feeling it in your hip flexors or your lower back, that's okay. 10 seconds remaining. 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. Banded rotations. Let's grab our band. We're gonna step out away. Make sure we got good tension and rotate. Pivot through those feet. Squash the bug with your toes. So you want to make sure you get a good pivot. Anybody that played softball or baseball knows that analogy, squash the bug. That pivot of the back leg is going to allow us to keep from torquing our knee. The body stays upright, turns on an axis. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. Wall sit, front raise. Stand on our band, grabbing the ends, and begin. Ooh, don't slide on those bands. Keep the head, the upper back, and the rear end all on the wall. Make sure that those knees are tracking over those toes and that we're not shrugging those shoulders into the ears as we do that front raise. Ten more seconds. And time. Final exercise, sit-ups. Here we go. On the ground. 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. All the way down and all the way up with control. 45 seconds of work. You'll notice the further away your feet are from your body, the more of a counterbalance they give you, so it becomes easier to sit all the way up. The reason why we don't allow, or we don't suggest your feet under something to anchor is because we don't want the hip flexors to take over. And that's time. All right. And now we're back to our first exercise. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. So we finished round 1. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Always making sure we're checking that knee alignment. So we don't want to be staring down at our knees and feet, but it's good to glance down to just double check your form occasionally. Your front heel should always stay on the ground when you're lunging. 3, 2, 1, and time. Planks is next. Getting down into position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Stiff as a board posture. You'll notice as you squeeze your glutes, you're able to feel it through your core quite a bit more. Fifteen more seconds. Five more seconds. And time. Okay. Banded good mornings. Let's move quickly. This one takes a little bit of time to get into. Get it around your neck or shoulders, step in, and begin. Right on time. Squeeze those glutes. Nice tall posture. Making sure that our head stays in a neutral position at all times. Ten more seconds. 5 seconds. Time. All right. Moving into flutter kicks. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, begin. Keep that crunching position. Knees nice and straight. It doesn't matter if you point your toes or if you flex your toes. Not really a problem either way. 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, banded push-ups. Get our band set. Find your back. Set up on the floor, and it's time. Begin. All the way down, all the way up. Make sure that your lower back is in a sway back position. You also want to make sure that that band is secured on your back so it doesn't start rolling up your shoulders. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. Russian twists. Starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Coordinate your breathing with your movements. Fifteen more seconds. You have to put your heels down, you can. Just keep going. 5 seconds. Time. Okay. We're on to our banded lat pull down. Reach away. And begin. You do want to make sure that as you're doing these, you've got equal tension on both sides of the band. You'll feel it if you don't. Something will feel a little wonky, so you might need to pause the video and take a look at your band. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. Squashing that bug. 3, 2, 1, begin. Change directions every time. Fifteen seconds remaining. And 3, 2, 1, time. Excellent. Let's move to our wall sit front raise. Or whatever color band you've chosen for yourself, under the feet, and let's begin. Always focusing on that good posture. Make sure you're symmetrically bringing both hands up to the same level. Almost done. And time. Awesome job, guys. We only got one more set to go. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, lunges. Periodically glance down for alignment, but keep that posture up tall. Almost there. Looking good, guys. Keep going. And time. Okay, back into planks. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice straight back, shoulders down into your back pockets. Squeeze that butt. Keep that good pelvic tilt. "15 more seconds. Remember, we've got our banded good mornings next. Takes a little bit longer to get into. And time. 15 seconds rest. Band behind the neck. Step in and begin. Get that good hammy stretch every time you're in the down position. Inhale down, exhale up. Ten more seconds. Keep that good posture. One more rep, and break. Whew. Okay, Flutter Kicks is next. Let's get on our backs. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Straight knees, feet only go up to 45 degrees. Crunch on those abs, lifting the shoulders and head up. Ten more seconds, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, banded push-ups. Let's get your band, good position behind your back, and begin. It's all about the good form reps. All the way down, chest touches the floor, all the way up. Imagine like you're pinching your shoulder blades together and you're pulling yourself down to the ground. And break. Okay, Russian twists. Rounding out that final round here, guys. We're on the home stretch. Ready, set, begin. Big rotations through the core. Almost there. 10 more seconds. 5 seconds. And break. Okay. Get set up for banded lat pullover. Move away. And begin. Keep that chest up, nice and tall. Control the movement as you pull down and as it comes up. Let's keep it up, we're almost done. 10 more seconds. And time. Okay. We're on to our banded rotations. I'm gonna get my lat pull band out of the way now that we're done with it. Grab our banded rotations and begin. That 15 seconds runs out quick. Squash the bug. Pivot that trail leg, taking the pressure off the knee. Almost there. Time. Good job. Wall sit, front raise. Here we go. Get your band around your feet and begin. Aiming for 90 degrees at those knees, keeping the heels flat on the ground. Also, you want to keep your head, upper back, all against the wall at the same time. Almost done. 3, 2, 1, break. All right. We're just chipping away at these exercises. Last minute of work before we get to stretch. Here we go. Sit-ups. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Notice I don't flop my back onto the floor before I initiate my next rep. Fifteen more seconds. And time. Excellent work. Okay, it's time to stretch. The first stretch that we're going to execute is going to be for those lunges that we did and those wall sits. We're going to hit those quads. So we're going to find a focal point about 5 to 6 feet out in front of us. We're going to kick the foot back, grabbing the instep around your shoelaces, and just stare at that one spot. We're going to pull the heel back, but we're also going to tuck the pelvis to really maximize the stretch in the quad, right? If you have to pull all the way back here, you can already see that I have a huge arch in my lower back. It's not about how far you can pull your knee back, it's about how much tension can you put on the quad. So listen to your body. Breathe, relax that quad muscle as we stretch. And switch. Other side, find another focal point, or the same one. Kick back, grab the instep, pull it back, stretch that quad. You might even feel it up into the hip flexor. Breathe and relax. And release. Great. Now let's go ahead and step back. We're going to take a knee. So now we just stretched the quads. Now we're going to target that hip flexor very specifically. We're going to do a static stretch. Dynamic means through movement. Static is holding for a period of time. So we're going to tuck that pelvis. We're going to lunge forward. Target that hip flexor. You can even twist away from the muscle that you're stretching to be able to intensify that stretch. Keep that core pulled in nice and tight. The more lax you get through the core through these stretches, the more you're going to just find yourself arching into the lower back, and then you won't feel anything in the hip flexor. It'll all be in your lower back. So tight core, good tilt, hip flexor stretch. And let's switch. Okay. Tuck the pelvis. And now we can twist if you choose to maximize or enhance that stretch. And the best is to keep posture up tall while performing these stretches. Fantastic. Okay. Next, we're going to go into our pigeon stretch. So we're going to let our leg go. Try and give you guys a good vantage point here. So the shin should be perpendicular, like an intersection with my body. And then from there, stretch that back leg. And slowly, to the amount that you find works your hip, you're going to lower yourself down. If you've got enough flexibility, you can even lower your head down to rest into your fist or on the floor. Now let's go ahead and switch. Take your hands into a push-up position. The leg back. Bring the other leg forward. And lower yourself down. Just like we talked about last time, you might find that you have one side that's tighter than the other. And it's okay if you spend a little extra time on the side that might be asymmetrical to the other, just to try and balance yourself out. I say that because this hip is usually tighter for me than the other ones. But luckily, I've been able to kind of bridge the gap a little bit by giving this side a little bit more attention. What that does is it brings my body back into alignment. Good. Come on out. And we're going to go into our frog stretch. As wide as you can. And then we're going to kick the feet out even wider than the knees. Rest on your elbows and then shift those hips back with a nice straight spine. Relax those hips, breathe through the stretch. Some of you guys might be asking why it's important to bridge the gap between your asymmetries from one side to the other. Well, understand that your muscles pull your bones out of alignment. They also tear ligaments, create tendinitis. We want to be as symmetrical as we can. Obviously, outside of the fact that it's a congenital or a birth defect that you've grown up with, that might be something you have to work around. Slightly come forward, shifting slowly. Let's bring those knees in, kind of walk them in. Whew. It's always a tight one for me. Now, let's go into our downward dog. Try and keep the heels flat on the ground. We're going to do the right heel first, keeping it flat as much as you can. Wrap it around the ankle to increase the force and assist the pressure in that heel getting to the floor. So that should be a great calf stretch for you. And switch. And onto your butts. Okay. So you're gonna sit on your rear end. You're gonna roll out any extra muscle tissue that's holding you back from being able to feel those seat bones on the floor. Okay? From there, we're gonna upright that posture. Your feet should be straight up and down. And then from there, you're just gonna lean forward until you can feel the stretch in those hamstrings. That is okay to round your back in this one. Since you don't have any weight on your back, it's not like it's gonna compress your discs. So we're gonna lean forward, reach for those toes. If you can grab them, great. And then from there, relax your head down towards your knees. And relax. Okay, we're gonna get one more stretch. Up on your feet, we're gonna find a wall. So the same wall you did your wall sits on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our elbow at a 90-degree angle against the wall. The foot that's closest, or the same foot as that arm, is gonna step forward, and we're gonna lean into the wall with that arm as we rotate ourselves open to stretch your chest. So you're lunging forward, leaning into the wall, and stretching that chest, keeping that shoulder and elbow at a 90-degree angle. And let's switch. And go ahead and begin that stretch. Twisting away while leaning into the wall. It's also very important to keep that posture up nice and tall. Breathe and relax. And release that stretch. Great job today, guys. I'm really proud of you. So keep up the hard work, and we will see you guys next time.